Hey, what's going on, you guys? The Keith Carnes here. Today I'm bringing you guys a new episode, the first episode in a long time, of Which is Better. And today, this episode, we are talking about none other than Bane from The Dark Knight Rises and the Joker from The Dark Knight. Now, The Dark Knight was released in 2008 with Heath Ledger portraying the Joker, which is considered to be one of, if not the best performance ever by an actor. And then in 2012, we saw the release of Christopher Nolan's final Batman venture, The Dark Knight Rises, with Tom Hardy portraying the monstrous Bane. Now, of course, in this series, if you're not familiar with it, I'll go over the basic of the series. I basically go over the good and the bad. I'm going to go over the good and the bad of each, character respectively. I'm going to go over their goods, their bads, in other words, their pros and their cons. And then at the end of the video, I'll give my conclusion of what, in my opinion, is the better between the two. So, yeah. So here we go. So, let's start out with the Joker, because that movie came out first in 2008. The late Heath Ledger, who died before being able to see his performance on camera in full. The Joker. What is good about the Joker? The simple part that the Joker really doesn't have anything holding him back in terms of, he doesn't care about money. The Joker made that very clear, that he didn't care about really anything. In the words of Alfred, some men just want to watch the world burn, and the Joker clearly wanted just to watch the world burn. And in the beginning, he tries to kill Batman, but then later realizes that they complete each other, kind of in a way, which was really cool that Christopher Nolan did that, because like in the comics and the cartoons, the Joker always loved just fucking with Batman because it was just his entertainment. So the Joker in this movie, he starts out wanting to kill Batman to get rid of Batman out of the picture so he could, pretty much take over Gotham. But then in the end, because he's such a psycho, he's so psychotic, he decides, I don't want to kill Batman. I want to keep Batman around, because if I get rid of him, I'm going to be really bored. I mean, it's a really crazy thing to think, but that's definitely probably the Joker's strongest thing, is that he didn't really have any reasoning. That could be considered a con, but in my opinion, the way the Joker executes it in The Dark Knight, he definitely takes the cake. The Joker definitely takes the cake for not having stuff hold him back. He just doesn't allow materialistic things and stuff like that hold him back. He's not out there to get rich. He's not out there to really even seize power. He just really just likes to cause chaos. He's a man of anarchy, basically. And I mean, he takes down Harvey Dent. Basically, he's responsible for Harvey Dent's face being half of his face being burned, thus turning into the who we all know as Two-Face. And he's responsible for Harvey Dent's love, Rachel, being killed, which ultimately pushes Harvey Dent over the edge, makes Harvey Dent pretty much lose his mind. And the Joker, of course, is there just to make it worse. And yeah, I think that's definitely now his weaknesses. This kind of is kind of a conflict with his not give a shit attitude about anything. But the problem with the Joker was that he wasn't established enough. The bad thing about the Joker is he wasn't established enough to take on Batman and the Gotham police and all that stuff. He didn't have a plan, and he even states this in the movie when he's talking to Harvey Dent. He says, "Do I look like a guy that has a plan?" It's like he doesn't have a plan, and he knows he doesn't have a plan, and that's what makes the Joker so great, is that he just doesn't give a shit. But that is a downfall of the Joker, and ultimately leads to his capture and failure, because he just has no reasoning, and he really doesn't have a plan. He's just causing chaos to cause it, and there's really no reason behind it. And you watch the movie a million times, you're never really going to derive any reasoning behind it, because the Joker is truly just a senseless guy. He just doesn't have any sense when it comes to his reasoning. He just doesn't have reasoning. So that's my opinion on the Joker. So now let's move on to Bane from the 2012 release, The Dark Knight Rises. Bane, played by, of course, Tom Hardy. What's good about Bane? The fact that Bane knew what he was doing. The Bane had a plan and executed it brilliantly. Unlike the Joker, Bane had a plan, and Bane, like I said, executed it so great. I mean, he takes out Batman. He does what no other villain had done before. He completely surpasses the Joker in terms of succeeding at what his purpose is. You know, the Joker didn't really have a purpose. Bane has a purpose, and Bane almost completely succeeds if he just didn't underestimate Batman, which he ends up doing, of course. What's good about Batman? What's good about Bane? Bane breaks Batman's back. He beats the shit out of Bruce Wayne and shows that he is capable of defeating the Caped Crusader, and does. Unmasks Batman, reveals his identity to Selina Kyle, later known as Catwoman. Also known as Catwoman. He reveals Bruce Wayne's face to all his army of goons, and of course, Bane already knew who Batman was before he even took off the cowl. So the biggest strength I think Bane has is that Bane was so successful and smart. Bane knew what he was doing and succeeded at it so brilliantly. The downfall of the downfall of Bane, my dog's sneezing. The downfall of Bane is, without a shadow of doubt, is he was overconfident. That is the best way I can describe Bane's downfall, because Bane doesn't really have a downfall. The only thing Bane fucks up on is he didn't kill Batman. He wanted to make Batman suffer, Bruce Wayne, he wanted to make Bruce watch him destroy Gotham, make Gotham a hellhole, and then eventually he was going to nuke it or whatever. He wanted Batman to witness that and know that he had failed, but ultimately, of course, Batman has a never die attitude, and never quit, never die, blah blah blah. He gets his back fixed, he crawls out of the hole and ends up defeating Bane. Well, in a way, Catwoman actually kills Bane, which is kind of funny, but, Batman helps foil the plan by a lot. So yeah, that's definitely his biggest weakness, was that he was just overconfident. That was really the only thing Bane did wrong. Other than that, Bane was an awesome villain. So now comes the hard question: who was better? Was the Joker better, or was Bane better? Now, in terms of entertaining, the Joker is way better than Bane in terms of just watching him on camera and watching him perform. Heath Ledger was a lot more interesting than Tom Hardy. But who was really the better villain in terms of of their accomplishments? Bane, hands down. I mean, you really can't argue with that. And I'm not saying my opinion is a fact, it's my opinion, but in my opinion, I would definitely have to list Bane as the better villain, just because Bane succeeded so much more than the Joker ever came even close to. Like I said, the Joker was just a man of chaos, and that's where it began, and that is where it ended. Bane had a reason. Bane succeeded almost 100%. The only thing he did was he underestimated Bruce Wayne's ability. That's the only thing he did wrong. Other than that, he did everything else right. So, yeah, so for me, I definitely think Bane was better than the Joker in terms of, of being a better villain. But if I had to choose which one I liked more entertaining, definitely the Joker. I mean, the Joker was definitely cooler, but the monstrous Bane, I think that Bane is definitely the better. So my pick would have to be Bane overall, just because I think Bane, he was just more successful. That's really the only way I can describe why I picked Bane. And he was more devastating to Batman than the Joker ever was. I mean, yeah, the Joker was responsible for Rachel dying, and he was responsible for Harvey Dent's downfall. And those are two big accomplishments, because Rachel really hurts Batman, and Harvey Dent caused Batman to be hated. So yeah, he did succeed in that manner, but it's nothing compared to what Bane would later do, 8 years later. So what are you going to do? Bane is definitely my pick. So who did you like? But who do you think was better? Do you just simply pick the Joker because you enjoyed the Joker? And if you actually picked the Joker because you really like the Joker more for certain reasons, go ahead and list it below. Same thing for the Bane fans. This is E. Keith Carnes. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Is It Real? Really? I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of which is better. I will see you guys in the next. Peace. Thanks for viewing.